Annika, good morning. What can we expect really to be the focus? I see there's Auditor General staff, there's number staff, but Eskom surely is the big elephant in the room.
I think it's going to take over, Dan. It's, as Pravin Gordhan said yesterday, the ANC cannot and government cannot run away from this issue and has to attack it head on. And as he said yesterday to a joint sitting, we are running out of time and the country is running out of patience. The big problem here, Dan, is that 50% of Eskom's maintenance budget was slashed in the past few years, and the system is literally limping along. I mean, some insiders say it's a surprise that we haven't had load shedding for so long, and that the whole grid is almost on the verge of collapse. There are also questions, of course, on sabotage. Is this reaction from staff to the unbundling announcement made by President Ramaphosa in the State of the Nation address and job cuts? And if you look at some of the numbers, in 2009, when President Jacob Zuma took over, Eskom was 440 billion rand in debt, had 30,000 employees and produced 40,000 megawatts. It's now 140 billion rand in debt and they have 37,000 employees, and it's not generating any revenue to service its debt or its staff or even its maintenance. So big problems that have to be addressed by Pravin Gordhan before the Public Enterprises Portfolio Committee today.
Yeah, part of what he was saying in Parliament yesterday during the debate on the State of the Nation address, Annika, the sense I was getting was that we need to find solutions because you've got this huge challenge, it's, of gigantic proportion that Eskom is facing. Do you think Parliament will start trying to move us in the direction of possible solutions here?
I mean, I think Pravin Gordhan tried to set out after that 6-hour-long marathon meeting. We understand that he was completely taken aback by the fact that 7 units went down all at the same time. That's pretty unprecedented, which either shows that there is an internal problem or that the plant is an absolute breakdown. And as he said yesterday, and as our colleague Yuveka said, Kusile Madupi have been poorly project managed. They're actually in a shambolic state, and they're going to have to call international experts to come in and assess the situation. They're going to have to get the top technicians back in. So many top experts left Eskom and government business because it was seen as such an unattractive place to work over the past few years because of corruption, nepotism, etc. So they're going to have to bring the right people back on board, but I should think that the new board of Eskom has a lot of answering to do because they should have at least warned that this massive breakdown was coming. Schedule 4 is unprecedented, and we haven't been in such a bad situation before.
And that Auditor General's report, the financial year 2017-2018, is there anything there possibly that might also come out in the news and be highlighted, Annika, or is just a normal report on what the numbers look like for that financial year?
It really depends on what's been going on behind the scenes, Dan, but I think that the major numbers issue and this talk of bailout, when you ask Finance Minister Tito Mboweni about the word bailout, he said he always says, what is a bailout? But in his budget speech next week, he's certainly going to have to outline how Eskom is going to service its debt and how they're actually going to up that maintenance structure so that it's not slashed to 50% anymore, and what they can actually do. So I think we really need to look out for next week when Tito Mboweni makes that budget speech in terms of how they're going to rescue Eskom. But of course we'll be looking at the Auditor General to see if there's been any wasteful and fruitless expenditure again at Eskom.
Thank you very much, Annika Larsen in Parliament.